They've actually named update 22.12 Shrine of the Eidolon. Actually, yep, Shrine of the Eidolon. This is because they've added these two new Eidolons in that are bigger and just better. Of course, with this, the arcanes are now going to drop from these as well as the normal Eidolon drops. There is also a Riven Transmutation. The actual item for doing this is dropped from the hydrolyst. This is one of the new Eidolon type enemies. It actually weirdly says you receive a guaranteed Riven Transmutator from them if captured. Which means if, like me, you have a lot of Rivens and you don't really use them, you can actually transmute them. And I'm really hoping that it doesn't work kind of similar to the normal transmutation system, which, well, if I just select 4 of these, you can actually transmute it and it will give you 1 card in return. Just 1. If it does, secretly I'm kind of hoping that it will at least be more. But it says it can transmute 4 Rivens into a brand new Riven. Combining Rivens of the same type will result in a Riven of that type. So 4 melee Rivens will give you a melee Riven, 4 shotguns will give you a shotgun, 4 rifles will give you a rifle. I'm assuming the same goes for secondaries. They've actually added a shadowing system for chat, so when I turn it off there, you can actually see there is shadowing behind it, if I can get it onto a brighter colour there, for the orange, for example. I actually completely forgot they were talking about doing that, but there it is. There's a shadow there, so it actually stands out more. But of course, if you have the chat window open, it's not really as noticeable because the background is slightly smoky, transparent, if you want to call it that. So it doesn't stand out, but it makes the normal one stand out pretty well. And actually looking at that, that seems a little bit darker than it normally is. Maybe they've tweaked the lighting. I can't find anything on that though. They've also made some stat improvements to the arcanes here, like the... Oh, what's the best one? Arcane Deflection, which, to be fair, to go through this to find it is going to be a pain. If it's in alphabetical order, it should in theory be there. This will now have a base value of 20. And to be fair, they've basically gone through and tweaked every single one of them just a little bit. One thing that I'm noticing here that I haven't mentioned is the other arcane types are now also in here, which includes... Wow, what is the best thing to call these? The ones from Cetus. But I'm actually noticing there's some missing because, oh no, I never actually built those other ones. So they could in fact be in here as well. And weirdly, I do this every single time, just in case they sneak a weapon or something in here and I don't happen to notice it. That hasn't happened, but what has is there is just way too many sound changes to get into, but they've changed the sounds on a lot. This is not as much a quality of life update as this is just complete and utter madness. The next 7 days you are eligible for free items. Ooh, what is... Log in within 7 days of the update, and in your inbox you will have 3 former, a 3-day affinity booster, and an Exilus mod adapter. That's pretty nice. After Friday's dev stream, we've already been on, there are 3 alerts. They are actually active. If I go out here... Right now, I purposely didn't do these to kind of show this. So they're already live, and console players will receive the same message once the build goes live, as expected. But there is an insane amount of Warframe changes as well. These have changed a little bit from the original plans. Some of them have made better than they were. Chroma's not being nerfed as much as he was. Ember's going to be better than she was. The original changes were... Do highly recommend you come in here and have a read through these if you are looking for changes to a specific frame. But though a lot of these changes have made frames way better, and I have covered this before, probably my favourite one here is this one line here that they didn't mention until the dev stream. The duration has been leveled between Hall of Mirrors and Eclipse, because I'm one of those people who does run both, and balancing them out has always been a bit of a pain. They now have the same duration. That is huge. Also in this, probably all the way down here, if we get rid of that one and go into this one, yes, all of those weapon changes that I have mentioned before have also gone live. Increased damage for Bratton, where there was somebody who mentions a different weapon that I didn't mention. The only reason I'm not going to go through each and every one of these is when I did the video going through this list, I cut out a lot of it because the original one was nearly 20-something minutes long. The link to this forum post I'm on now, which is all the details about the update, will be in the description below, but a lot of these seem to be pretty much what they were. The Opticores having its rank increase, that was expected. They haven't touched anything else with it. I'm actually looking through here for the Bratton because somebody was telling me the Bratton Prime's being buffed, and, well, it's not. The Bratton is being buffed, but the Prime, as far as I could tell, was staying the same. And actually, after quickly looking through it, didn't actually... well, probably passed it. Nope, there it is. Mastery ranks being increased. It's got more status chance, it's got more crit, and it's going to carry more ammo. The ammo capacity change in itself is huge for it. Same as a lot of these weapons. The minor changes are huge, but the massive damage increases on some is also really good. But some of the nerfs, well, that tended to come with the secondaries here. I had a lot of people commenting that some of the changes to secondaries were more nerfs than they were anything else. Again, if you want to check up on your favourite weapon, there is something like 100+ weapons in here. It takes a long time to go through. One of the other noticeable changes is when it comes to things like fish, the drop chance booster now affects mining and fishing. So fishes will, or fishies, will spawn more often, as will stuff for mining. That's obviously the spawn rate, not the capture rate. The capture rate, I'm not sure if the mining is actually affected by the double resource booster or not. Fishing is supposed to be. Mining, I think it is, but I can't really confirm that. But one of the biggies to this update, and to me it's up there with the changes to all the Warframes and all the weapons, has got to be on a nighttime, because sadly it's not nighttime yet. When you come and see Konzu, he will have special bounties. Please at least pop up. I hit completely the wrong button there. No! It's not showing up. The ghouls are here at the minute, but on a night time there will be special bounties that pop up, and I do have a little bit from the actual update thing. Eidolon Hunts. There is 2 of them. There's one for the normal Eidolon, the Terra... yeah, still can't pronounce these names properly. The second bounty is, of course, for the new Eidolons. Of course, you have to take these on for the Riven Transmutation. The first one, I did have a quick read through, and it does have special notes, but there's nothing that really says you can do it multiple nights. Like, multiple times in one night, or whether it works like the current bounties where you have to do it once and then wait until the timer expires to do it again. I'm hoping that very small timer there wasn't because it was approaching the end of the night, but because the bounties are, if they're on 10-minute cycles, it takes about 10 minutes to take one down. Would be great, because it means finally getting a party together to hunt Eidolons is going to be way easier. You can also now take these things, if you can get to them before the pilot. That you will notice, actually there's 2 of them there, and I can see the pilots over there. So in theory I should be able to grab one of these, unless my sentinel decides it's going to help itself and destroy them again, because it's done that way too many times. These things kind of behave on the same aspect of the arc wings, but you can shoot from these fairly effectively. And what are they like speed-wise? Not bad. Actually not bad at all. They don't seem to spawn that well, and I was kind of hoping for a rocket of some type. What the heck am I seeing over there? Weird. But there's no... Oh, just straight into the mountain. I mean, stop. Okay, so, yeah, they take some time to get used to. That was... The turning on them leaves a lot to be desired. Back to the market, and it says for weapons they've added, yep, Arcwing weapons now have their own tab here, and there is a few other things. You can now buy 10 loadout slots instead of the 5 you could get before, them of course being the, quite literally, loadout slots here, so you can buy 10 of them instead of 5. A lot of people were maxing out on those, as I am, because as you just seen. And probably my favourite of all of this, or one of my favourites of all of this, they've added a new flow for the Companion Incubator Management here, where, and I don't think I can say it because I've got none near death, but now pets can no longer die. The base incubator will now do the same as the upgraded incubator, and it will auto-stasis the whichever companion you have, whether it be a Kubro, the Kavat, or the... I can really not remember the name. The Helminth Charger. That's the one. I was going to call it something else. It's Helminth something, but it's a Helminth Charger. Those will all be automatically put in here, so they won't auto-die. So if you don't log in, you don't have to build the upgraded segment to have this feature. It's now part of the base feature. So this thing is actually still worth picking up because it still has the health reductions, and the reduction in price for the stabilizers is actually going to be part of it. Once you build it, it will then change. So it's not if you had it before the update, if you get it afterwards, it will be there. Of course, the blueprint for this is, and if I click on this it should say it, it's inside the Tenno Lab, which is dojo stuff. So this thing is definitely still worth picking up. But we'll leave this off here for now. Try and keep this as short as I can, because sometimes these can go way too long when they add this much stuff at once. Again, link in the description below for all those changes to warframes and weapons. If I was to cover them all, it would, as I mentioned earlier, just be an insanely long video. Anyway, we'll leave this off here for now. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll catch yous next time.